It is 6 p.m. on Monday, October 28th, and I call this meeting of the Clear Creek Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present and that this meeting has been duly called and that its notice has been posted in accordance with Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Our first item on the agenda is going into closed session, and so the board will now move to closed session as authorized by the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Section 551.001, concerning purposes permitted by the Act, including 551.071, consultation with attorney, 551.072, deliberation regarding real property, 551.074, deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignments, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public employee, or to hear a complaint or charge against an employee. And so we will go into closed session at 6:01. Okay, good evening. I'll call us back into open session at 6:49. And our next item on the agenda is Pledge of Allegiance and Texas Pledge.
Okay, and I think we have some Bay Elementary students that are going to help me.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
And please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated. All right. We have Bay Elementary Media Crew. Is that what is your title?
So we do announcements for our school.
Announcements for your school. Excellent. What now?
Bay Eagle News.
Bay Eagle News.
Yes.
And what types of announcements do you have for Bay Eagle News?
So we have like a leadership pledge, a character pledge. So what we do is like we share like what like the day is like kind of gonna go. So we do the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge like first. Then we do like birthdays and the date, and then we go to special announcements, which is like shout outs and like to classes, and also special announcements is to tell us like what's gonna go on today or like on this week.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Excellent.
Today's Red Ribbon Day, and we said that last week on the announcements. And tomorrow's pajama day.
Oh, pajama day. Do you wear red pajamas? No.
Just regular pajamas.
Okay, okay. What part of the announcements do you like? Do you enjoy? What part of this job do you enjoy?
Everybody takes their own part in the news crew. There's one person who changes the background. There's one person who keeps the monitor going so the anchors know what to read, and then there are the anchors. All the jobs are really enjoyable. I don't really know if I could pick a favorite, but I guess being an anchor is the most fun. I guess it's nice to go up there and just give the news out to people.
That's excellent. Do you have a favorite?
Well, I do like the teleprompter and the person who controls OBS, because you change the backgrounds of the screens and the teleprompter tells what the anchors should read.
Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, operator one, which is really fun because I get to pick the backgrounds and I have to pull up OBS and the teams.
Excellent. So there's a lot of collaboration and working together?
Yeah.
Do you work together a lot?
That's basically the whole thing.
The whole thing is working together. That's outstanding. Let's give them a hand. Ooh, yes, yes, yes. Well, wave. Thank you. Excellent job. Thank you so much, team. Well, y'all have yes, yes. We are going to get a picture. We got to get a picture with that.
Our future broadcasters right here. Our future broadcasters.
They might do a really good job running all of our news. Good job. All right, we're going to get a Okay, and this week we celebrate Red Ribbon Week. and a time dedicated to promoting a drug-free lifestyle and raising awareness about the dangers of substance abuse. This week is not just about wearing red ribbons. It's about making a commitment to ourselves and our community to live healthier, happier lives. I have a proclamation that we sign each year and that they're at each of our tables, or each of our chairs. And it reads in part, Clear Creek ISD Board of Trustees ask all teachers, staff, and parents to stand with them to say, be the reason, as part of their commitment to supporting Red Ribbon Week from October 28th through November 1st. And as champions of families in our community over 2 decades, I would like to now welcome the Alliance of the Bay Area to share a few words. Executive Director Amanda McLaughlin and some of her team and board members are with us. And please come up, Ms. McLaughlin. She has done such an amazing job for so many years. And we're all thinking red tonight.
Yes.
So there you go.
Thank you. We are growing. So I think probably since the last time I talked to you, we've about doubled in size. So it's been a great working with HR, trying to get our open positions filled. We still have one position open. So if somebody wants to come work with us, we're a lot of fun. Staff, board, come join us up here. We're going to get a picture. Just wanted to say that we've been on 13 campuses last week and this week, just doing Red Ribbon Week. We're on another 16 on a weekly basis, including Bay Elementary, doing evidence-based curriculum. We have been visiting with campuses to try to figure out how we can better serve them, because it looks like this year we're going to have to serve somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 20,000 kids directly. So we're looking forward to figuring out how we do that, but we're super excited to have the funding that supports this staff and the work that the Alliance does to impact kids. So thank y'all.
Thank you, Amanda. And Ms. McLaughlin, I understand there's red ribbons on the table for everybody. So don't leave without your red ribbon. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So we'll move to our next item on our agenda, and it is a program spotlight.
Okay. Okay, so as they come up to the podium here, the Career and Technology Culinary Program at CCISD, thank you, is an excellent example of engaging students in world-class learning experiences. Dr. Silva, Casey Bevel, and 3 of our CCISD students, I believe Abigail, Caleb, and Mena, will provide trustees with insights and it looks like a special treat into this program. And strategy 2.4 in our strategic plan is to scale up proven academic programs and replicate best practices. We've been investigating the possibility of replicating this program, and we'll provide trustees with more information next month. But I'd like to turn the spotlight over to Dr. Silva.
So before we get started, Mena, do you want to share what they have that you just passed out?
So today we passed out cinnamon toast crunch cookies we made in class today. This is a little treat for y'all.
So Chef P could not be here tonight, so we're sad that she's not here to share. You will see her in our video. We have her a bit later. But instead of Chef P, better yet, we have some students who participate in the program. We have Casey Bevel, our coordinator here, as well as Caleb and Abby and Mena.
and it began when the campus opened in 2007. It is a district CTE specialty program, so that means it's open to all 10 through 12 students in the district. And then later on in 2015, they established an on-campus restaurant, Bistro Urbano, that the students run throughout the program. Before we hear from our students, we do have a video we would like to share with you that takes you into a little insight of the kitchen and the things the students are doing in the program.
In culinary, they learn the basics about safety and sanitation, teamwork, knife skills, how to work in a commercial kitchen, how to communicate and to be safe.
I chose to take culinary because I love cooking and I just see how like it brings people together and everything, and I know I would make a lot of new culinary friends.
I think it really builds you as a person, and not to mention that the social aspect here is very nice. Everyone's friendly, the campus is nice, and overall I think that this program is very beneficial.
This program has opened up opportunities for me to get jobs in industries that I've always wanted to work at. Like Dutchworth, I just got a job there, and thanks to culinary, I was able to say, hey, I have a lot of experience with cooking and being in the kitchen.
My growth within the district has really been fascinating. I did start out teaching at the intermediate level within ISD. Moving up to high school, I've actually been able to watch my former students become a part of this program at the high school level and truly watch them grow and develop for many years. One of the most rewarding parts of my job is when I go out and I see former students and they're creating a life for themselves. How much of your family goes out to eat? It's our students who are behind the scenes.
My dream and aspiration is to become a chef and restaurant owner. So I want to become an entrepreneur and own my own restaurant.
I want to thank culinary for the opportunity it has given me to learn. I hope to keep doing it in the long run.
We know that not all students are going to pursue culinary after high school, but the skills obtained during this course will definitely help them in their next chapter.
So in addition to just cooking in the kitchen, our students also participate in workshops. They facilitated a team building activity for the Clear Springs High School tennis team where they showed them how to make pasta. They do event catering. They've hosted CCIC counselors. They've hosted Dr. Engel and guests she may have around the district. They catered the Clear Springs High School's new teacher luncheon. The Clear Springs High School basketball team banquet. So they're always doing events. They also have hosted formal dinners, and these are multi-course dinners, 6 and 7 course dinners. They've done a Valentine's Day dinner where you had reservations, and the bistro had all the things for Valentine's Day. They've done lunches for faculty and staff. And then more recently, they have competed in the 2024 Landry's Iron Chef competition and actually won this year. So that's amazing for them. We're super proud of them. So these 3 students here were actually part of that competition. They are all seniors, third-year students of the program. So now we're going to hear a little bit more from them. They will each let us know, why they decided to join culinary, things that they've learned along the way, and then of all the dishes that they have prepared, which one is their favorite and why. So I'll turn it over to Caleb.
I joined the culinary arts program because I always had an interest in cooking, and there was something that had always brought me in whenever my parents or grandparents was creating a dish. And I just wanted to expand my knowledge and my skills in the arts. And we learn, most of the things we learn are mostly about safety and sanitization procedures. Like we can't leave messes out, obviously. Clean up every time. One of my favorite dishes that we created throughout my 3 years was a steak and creamy Cajun shrimp sauce that we created in preparation for the Junior Iron Chef competition.
Ever since I was little, I have just always loved being in the kitchen, baking or cooking. With my grandmother, she's kind of where I first got the inspiration, and I've just always been with her. And so once I got to high school, I learned that they had this program. And 2 years before I got into high school, our old chef, Chef Tate, he actually had Chef of the House. And so I got to do a cooking class with him. And that's just where it broadened me even more. So when I got to high school, I was like, I have to do this. So I've been here 3 years later, and just taking this class has really gotten me in preparation for college, and I know that's helped out a lot. With something I've learned, one of the most important things is knife skills and just the different cuts and words and how to do it, and you can never really master it till you've done it 1,000 times. So that's one of the most important things I've learned. And then out of all the dishes, I can't even count how many, but probably one of my favorite is our beef bones and not beef panini. Just the aspect of it and how many different layers and all that goes into it, the time, preparation, and taste of it. Just one of my favorite things about beef panini.
So, I wanted to do my culinary because, like, I was from Egypt, so coming from the Middle East, I cooked very, like, more, like different dishes. I had more, like, complex stuff. So I wanted to learn everybody, like, how much I could cook, like, Hispanic food, like, Indian. I wanted to broaden my knowledge in cooking. And growing up, I really wanted to be a chef. Like, I would go out in a chef's coat, like, do elementary school events. Like, I want to be a chef when I grow up. So when I came to high school and I met our chef, he was like talking to me about how he thought the program would be fit for me if I wanted to actually go in it and go into college. So then when I did join, I was like, oh, I really like this. It's like a great environment. One of the things I did learn over like the years of being culinary was hospitality. I work from the house usually, and you need to have hospitality to do your places. You need to be able to get out there and I can tell them what they need to know about the dishes we're making. And I think it's a really important part of culinary. One of my favorite dishes is when I made my first year, which was our lobster ravioli, and I think it's really good. Thank you guys for sharing. So that concludes our little spotlight today for culinary. Do you have questions for any of us, partner with the students?
Any questions from the trustees? Just go ahead.
I don't have a question, and I'm trying not to choke up. Because you mentioned your teacher, Kathleen and Tate, would be so proud. Keep up the good work, because you're keeping his memory alive in what you do. So thank you.
Thank you. Just go ahead. Any other questions or comments from the board?
You know, I just wanted to say that every time I've had a chance to sample your creations, they've been amazing, they've been professional quality, and anybody who wants to take the next step from this program, I think, is very well prepared. And just one side question, I should probably know this. Are there any certifications that can be earned as part of this class? And if so, can you just discuss those just briefly?
So we actually have taken 2 certification tests. One was with Chef Tate,
That's exactly what I was thinking. Thank you.
That's awesome. Mr.
So,
Cottrell?
not so much of a question, but comment. This is one of those programs that we're fortunate enough, and our students are fortunate enough for us to be able to offer it. Thank you all for taking it. I've had the luxury of dining at the bistro and inside CCISD. I know we held one there last year at the bistro. I've been going there for years, and thank you all for, all of sharing your talent with us. I'm that relationship of how we're able to offer it, how you accept it, and how you exceeded it. Congratulations on winning the Iron Chef Landry's. That's a big deal. It really, really is. But best of luck to y'all. I know we had a graduate from Springs go to the New York Culinary Institute.
Cold Schultz.
Yeah, Cole Schultz. So there's lots of great opportunities, the places you'll go, like Dr. Seuss said. But yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. I look forward to my cookie. I notice it's a little soft, and that's the way I like it too. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Cottrell. Any other questions or comments from the board? I did have a question for each of you. Is there anything that surprised you once you actually got into the class that you didn't expect that would be something we would enjoy hearing about?
Yeah. When I first entered the classroom with Chef Rousseau in there, he surprised me. He talked to us, treated us all like we were independent and we were like adults, and he treated us with so much respect that I enjoyed.
Thank you.
To add on that, just Chef Tate, he came into our lives making us a family, and us three, we have been in the program together all for years, and having Chef Tate start out with us has really made us bonded and continue each different culinary class as a family. And now with Chef Tate Press, we've made a new family and old family combined, and it's just a great opportunity that I was so grateful to have, because it's really making my college and career dreams all come true. Chef Tate, I honestly didn't expect, like, I thought it was gonna be like culinary program you take in middle school. I remember the first week when he put us a lineup and like he checked us up to make sure we were ready for the kitchen. Like I didn't think it was like run like an actual professional kitchen, and that surprised me. But he did it in his own way, and it made us feel, even though it's got to be serious, and that's like what I really love about it.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Can I say one
Sure.
more thing real quick? And this just dawned on me listening to you. The Clear Creek Education Foundation. There was a gentleman named Mickey Wooten, who I believe is serving another term, actually on the board now. He was there about 10 years ago. He was the owner of South Shore Grill. And he really donated to y'all's program so much, and 10, 12 years ago. Believing in it, supporting it. Their mindset is, how can you take it to the next step, right? We would always have those conversations, meetings. How can we take it to the next level? And that's what y'all are doing. Hearing the, all the creativity and seeing the video and all the things you cook, I mean, that's taking it to the next level. So our community really supports the program. The Education Foundation, I know, are huge supporters in it. We support the program, we support students. And so just, if you ever have the opportunity to meet somebody on the Ed Foundation, thank them, because going back through the history of it, they're big supporters in y'all and the program that y'all are now part of. So thanks again.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Cottrell. Well, thank you all for coming and sharing. Thank you for the treats. You mentioned hospitality and being in the front, and I think regardless of where you end up for college and a career, that skill set will serve you well. Hospitality is sometimes lost these days, People forget the impact of an interaction with a person. And so definitely hold on to that, continue to build that and focus on that because that's the impression that you make on people. And then they taste what you've made, and so then you really won them over because you got their heart and their stomach. But congratulations, thank you for what you're doing, and we're just glad to get to hear a little bit about it today. So thank you so much. Okay, our next item on the agenda is our district update.
Okay, and thank you, President Sanchez. Well, the sights and sounds of a great school year can be heard and seen all over CCISD, and we just had a spotlight on some of that. I'm thrilled to invite our community to witness the incredible talent during one of our several CCISD musicals during the next several months. Tickets can be reserved online, and a reminder that our senior citizens with an active gold card can receive free admission pending space available. Well, school carnivals, football games, volleyball, band competitions, cross country, and water polo are just some of the school activities happening across the district. Both cross country and water polo had multiple state qualifiers, and I'm delighted to share that this past Saturday, the Clear Creek High School boys water polo team took first place in the state of Texas. We will be recognizing these and other top state finishers during upcoming board meetings. Over 1,000 students and their families joined us for our annual college and career fair, which was held at the Education Village on October 16th. It's never too early to start planning life and success after high school, as we've seen. This event continues to grow in participants and exhibitors. We had colleges, universities, and business representatives to talk to students about career opportunities. And I would like to thank our trustees who joined us for our first Fun Friday, where trustees helped campus staff open car doors and welcome students to school. I was joined by Trustee Cottrell and Trustee Larson at Ross Elementary, and it was a great way to start the day. Well, early voting in the November election is underway. While we do not have an election, I do want to encourage all registered voters to get out and vote in this important election. You can find information at www.vote.org. And finally, October is National Principal Month. In appreciation or Principal Appreciation Month, in Clear Creek ISD, we have some of the strongest campus leaders who serve and support their school communities. They exemplify our core values with a focus on people, our purpose, and the promise of a world-class education. Research shows that the top two indicators of student success is first, the teacher in the classroom, and second, the principal who leads the campus. These Gold Star leaders shine brightly and create a culture of belonging and inspire a community. Thank you, principals.
Thank you, Dr. Engel. We'll move to our next item on the agenda, and it's community input. The purpose of community input is for the entire board to receive feedback from citizens. The board will hear public comments but will not respond except as authorized by the Texas Open Meetings Act to respond to an inquiry by a member of the public or by a board member with a statement of specific factual information, recitation of existing policy, or to deliberate a proposal to place a subject on the agenda for a subsequent meeting. Matters brought forth that require a response will be addressed by the superintendent as appropriate. All information received is subject to verification. Community input is scheduled for 30 minutes and has two forums. Those requesting to address the board regarding items on the agenda are granted up to 3 minutes to address their topics. And those who sign up to address items not on the board agenda are granted 1 minute. In a district our size, there will certainly be issues or topics which will generate considerable interest from the public. It is important that members of our community be able to address the school board respectfully, without disruption, and without fear of intimidation from other attendees. On behalf of the board, the superintendent, and CCISD staff, we welcome your input during CCISD school board meetings. We request that everyone exhibit the respect and understanding each person deserves. when addressing the school board during the public input portion of the meeting. And our first speaker this evening is Ann Hammond.
Good evening. In honor of National Principals Month, I have a resolution of appreciation. Whereas October is National Principals Month, a recognition of the critical role that principals play in every student's education and every community's future. And whereas principals establish the academic tone for their schools, which includes but is not limited to the school's vision, standards, culture, education, community interactions, collaboration, and expectations for teachers, staff, parents, district personnel, and the broader community. And whereas National Principals Month recognizes the importance of principals in their respective schools and communities as leaders, education experts, communicators, role models, budget experts, facility managers, negotiators, policy interpreters and implementers, assessment gurus, and initiators and reformers, disciplinarians, and motivators of every teacher and student, regardless of their individual differences. And whereas principals oversee a school's entire learning environment and the integrity of its operations to assure student-teacher success, safety and security, and mental and physical well-being. And whereas principals are among the hardest working and most important, yet often the least recognized individuals in public education, who inspire us with their contributions to public education, their communities, and the future of the nation. Therefore, be it resolved that the Association of Former Board Trustees thanks our principals for their service and celebrates National Principals Month. And this is signed the Association of Former Board Trustees, Joanna Bailson, Jennifer Broadle, Laura DuPont, Ann Hammond, Paige Rander, Paula Tomasi, Ken Ballaker, Robert Davey, Glenn Friedman, Charles Pond, Dee Scott, and Wynn Weber. Thank you, principals.
Thank you. Thank you. Our next speaker this evening is Tom Davis.
Speaking for the Texas Association of School Boards, Tiffany Dunn Oldfield, its Deputy Executive Director, said school boards can, quote, contact scheduled community input speakers before the board meeting to discuss their concerns in more detail. Sometimes the issue can be addressed and resolved ahead of the meeting, which is a win-win for everyone, unquote. As a frequent community input speaker, I wholeheartedly agree. I would be delighted to have monthly, off-the-record, one-minute Socratic dialogue with any or all of the 17 elected or appointed officials in this room. Polite questions and sincere answers going in both directions. Let's feel free to quote from 3 influential sources: TexEd Insights, the Journal of the Texas Association of School Boards; Insight, the Journal of the Texas Association of School Administrators; and NEA Today, the Journal of the Leading Teachers Union. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Mr. John Cobravius.
Good evening. I understand the board is considering realigning the board elections, and I hope that you'll think twice about this. A move like this will encourage extremist PACs to meddle in our school board elections. They will cause a coalition of candidates, and it could change the board composition in one sweeping election. As an example, Keller ISD did this, and a slate of 3 candidates won. And they were supported by a $150,000 donation from Patriot Mobile. Since then, one has resigned for bringing a foreign evangelical political film crew into a high school without board approval or parent approval. Another board member has been asked to resign. Just a few minutes ago, I found out that Friendswood is having the same very problem. And one candidate has received $35,000 from an individual. You know, if you do this, none of you will ever get reelected again. And I would appreciate if you would reconsider this. Thank you.
Thank you. Laura DuPont.
Hello. I am also representing the former board trustees to present a resolution of celebration in honor of National Book Month that reads in part, whereas National Book Month recognizes the importance of all books, and whereas books help us to expand our understanding of the world, to think more critically and clearly, to learn about new subjects, to explore great adventures, and whereas we can all join the celebration by reading books, by visiting libraries, by discussing ideas and books with others, and by writing and illustrating our own books and stories. And whereas our teachers and librarians lead our celebration of books by engaging students to read and thereby develop their vocabularies, comprehension, knowledge, creativity, clarity of thought, strength of character, and sense of self. Therefore, be it resolved that the Association of Former Board Trustees celebrates National Book Month and the teachers, librarians, and parents who inspire students to become lifelong readers and learners. Adopted October 1st, 2024 by all 12 members of the Association of Former Board Trustees. Thank you.
Thank you. Libby Johnson?
Prep work. Hello, I'm Libby Johnson with the League City Proud organization, which is also the 3-day event Holiday in the Park. And we are here tonight to celebrate the school board superintendent and all the school board members. We have a thank you gift for the superintendent and our school board members for all that they did to help us with the art contest last year. This is a copy of the winner, and each of you will be getting this for your desk or your offices. We also want to thank you again because it's proceeding with a new contest this year. But the big thank you is this is the first time for the school board to be in our parade on a float. So we are so excited about that and we appreciate it. And hopefully the contest will go great and our board members over here can introduce them because they don't have enough time. But if you want to talk to them, just call. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Our next item on the agenda is consent agenda. Are there any items anyone would like to pull?
Mr. President.
Entertain a motion?
Yes, I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Cottrell. Any comments or questions from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor, will raise your right hand. And it passes unanimous. Thank you. And we'll go to item B. Dr. Engel, you were gonna.
Yes, thank you, President Sanchez. TASB Region 4 has a vacancy on the TASB Board of Directors, and the CCISD Board of Trustees may submit a nominee to fill this interim position. This vacancy will be filled by the TASB Board in December and serve until the next delegate assembly in 2025. To be an eligible candidate for the TASB Board of Directors, nominees must have 18 months of local board tenure as of December 2024.
Thank you, Dr. Engel. For the board, I know that all of us have had the opportunity to attend TASB training. We've had the chance to attend the annual conference and have attended different Region 4 training events and opportunities to hear about what's happening across the state, but also joining together. And so I would open the floor if anyone would like to make any nominations.
Mr. President?
Mr. Cottrell?
I'd like to nominate Trustee Jay Cunningham.
Thank you, Mr. Cottrell. Any other nominations? Trustees? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, if you'll raise your right hand. In support of Jay Cunningham, let me read this just so we have this official. Serving as a TASB Region 4, Position C. It's an interim position on the TASB Board of Directors.
Do you want me to make the whole nomination with all that? I can.
Are we okay? That's okay?
We're good.
Layla says
You're
we're
getting the
okay.
shake. You're good.
So so all those in favor, if you raise your right hand, and it passes.
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay, thank you, and one abstention. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Cottrell. Next item on the agenda is consider approval of the use of capital project funds for facility-related projects.
Mr. Aragon will be discussing some capital project funds using bonds 2013 savings and interest, as well as bonds 2017 savings and interest for several campus projects.
Good evening, everybody. I just have three facility-related projects this month. So two will be, we're requesting capital funds from bonds 2013 savings and interest for two projects, totaling $52,000. Project one will total $22,000, and that's to fix some traffic flow issues at the Clear Lake High School front parking lot, where we have issues with parent drop-offs, and they're basically not going through the entire loop, and they're cutting through some of the parking spots. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build an island to kind of force them to go around the lot. And then we're also gonna put a gate in so that temporarily when there's drop off or pickup, we can gate. So again, they will be forced to go around and do the proper loop, because currently that's causing some significant delays and backups. And then the second project we have is to replace 32 LED pendant light fixtures in McWhorter Elementary that have reached their life cycle and can no longer be repaired. Actually, the cost of repair would exceed the cost to replace them. And then the third project I have is a total of $155,895, and that's coming from bonds 2017 savings and interest, and that is to conduct testing, adjusting, and balancing to Space Center Intermediate School. We have worked diligently with maintenance at that campus to try and address hot room issues, and what we're finding is a discrepancy between the thermostats on the wall and then what they're reading on their programs in their computer. This school has never actually been tested and balanced when it was built back in the 90s. We weren't doing a full test and balance, so this is a perfect time for us to do this, and this will get us a good starting point of how accurate all of the thermostats are, and then we can make adjustments to help the hot room issues.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
Is it an issue, Mr. Aragon, with where the sensors are being placed?
Well,
Or-
this will find that
Okay.
issue or not. Some of it may be, yeah. So by doing, we're gonna do every single unit, every single sensor, and we'll be able to determine how accurate the thermostats are and make adjustments as needed. And some of those adjustments may be moving thermostats to different locations.
Gotcha. Okay.
Any other questions from the board? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. President, I move we approve the use of capital project funds for $207,895 for facility-related projects.
Thank you, Mr. McKay. Any other questions from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor, if you raise your right hand, and it passes unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Aragon. And our last item on the agenda is an update from Mark. Is that right? Okay. Okay. Information on our district-wide intruder audit report.
Yeah, the Texas Education Association conducted intruder detection audits at one or more of our campuses, as they do monthly. Specific details of the intruder detection audit reports and corrective actions were discussed in executive session. I'll turn that over to Mr. Miller and, Cameron.
Good evening. Like Dr. Engel mentioned, we had an intruder audit finding from the state of one of our campuses. Corrective actions, changes that we made were discussed in closed session. Yeah.
Thank you. I know it's a very simple explanation. We did have discussion within our closed session, and at the highest level, what we do think is important for the community to know is that while there have been instances where audits have resulted in findings, related to a door that may not have been locked, that wasn't providing access to a campus, that in this instance, the finding was really related to tracking, to reporting. And so we think it's important for the community to know that while there is something that we have to disclose in the form of a public meeting, is that at no time was this finding something that was putting students or staff at risk on campus. It was simply adhering to a process for recording doorways that then changed back again to what it originally had been. And so we just think it's important for the public to know safety and security of our campuses is something, all of our facilities is something that we take very seriously. We are thankful for the staff and the SLOs and the volunteers that spend time checking doors to ensure their safety. We have additional, bells that will sound to make sure that they're working properly. But we do think it's important for the public to know that this was not something that would put students or staff in any harm or in any risk of not being safe. So we did want to share that this evening. Any other comments from the board?
Yeah, I just wanted to, I guess really this is kind of a question for you. Would it square with your understanding of this problem, that it was simply a misunderstanding of what form we should be recording the status of our audits on?
I don't believe it was a misunderstanding on our part. It was a change that was ultimately required that then was turned back to be what we had done correctly all along. And so it really is just paper reporting.
Yeah, it was a paperwork issue then.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Any other comments from the board?
Yeah,
Mr. Cunningham?
you said it diplomatically, but I'm just gonna say the district is going to take the safety and security of our students regardless of what the state asks for. We're gonna go above and beyond that. So thank you to all the principals, especially since it's National Principal Month, all of staff, all of maintenance, and our safe and secure department for, continually making sure bus drivers, our SLOs, it just goes down the line that we take it seriously. And so regardless of what the state does, we're going to make sure that our children are safe.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Cunningham. Any other comments from the board?
Okay, one more, and this is coming from somebody who has done safety work on a professional basis, and it is important to document things like near misses, safety escapes, just so you can have a process, you can follow what you're doing, and you can know where you've been and know where you're going. That is important, but nothing should distract from the primary safety mission, and that is my biggest concern here, that what we really need to do is make sure those doors are locked and those kids are safe, and we need to not get distracted from that by what kind of paperwork is involved behind it. And I think we're doing a really good job of that, and I really think you've handled this about as gracefully and as well as you possibly could.
Any other comments from the board? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And with no further business, I will adjourn us at 7:38.